In the Giza Desert stand the three pyramids. The great enigma is not just their size, but the geometric precision achieved by the ancient Egyptians without modern technology, moving blocks that weighed as much as an elephant. The answer lies in the sand and the logistics of a civilization obsessed with eternity. Number 1. The Desert Kingdom. The Giza Pyramids, including the great monument of Khufu, Cheops, finished around 2560 BCE, are a testament to a culture that viewed life as a preamble to eternity. Khufu's pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for nearly 3,800 years, designed as a staircase to heaven for the pharaoh. The perfect location. The Giza Plateau, on the western bank of the Nile, the domain of the dead, was chosen for its natural limestone bedrock outcrop. The engineers incorporated this mother rock into the pyramid's base, ensuring a solid foundation and revealing intelligent engineering, not just brute force. The inner core was extracted from local quarries. The high-quality external casing which made the pyramid shine was Tour limestone, transported from across the Nile. To move these heavy stones, they utilized the annual Nile flood, which turned the desert into a fluvial highway for the barges. The true challenge was raising blocks up to 50 tons over 140 meters high. The most accepted solution was the ramp system, straight or spiral. Ancient tomb images show hundreds of men pulling sledges, lubricating the path to reduce friction. The organization of this pharaonic workforce without machines is astonishing. Khufu's pyramid base is almost perfectly square, with a difference of less than 5 centimeters, and is aligned with the 4 cardinal points with 1/10 of a degree accuracy. The architects achieved this feat without a compass, using astronomy, fixing true north with the help of circumpolar stars to mark the cardinal directions on the ground. The king's chamber made of red granite is capped by relieving chambers. Khufu's sarcophagus is there, but it is too large to have been dragged through the narrow passages. This implies the sarcophagus was placed before the chamber roof was closed, revealing a meticulous planning where engineering and ceremonial function were intimately linked. Number 2. The Heart of the Empire. The Sphinx, carved from a single limestone outcrop, is believed to have been commissioned by Khafre, 2555 BCE. Its history is a cycle of oblivion and rescue. Thutmose IV found it buried up to its shoulders, 1400 BCE, and commemorated his excavation with the famous Dream Stele. The enigma of erosion. The key mystery is erosion. Geologists suggest the significant damage to the body is vertical and undulating, typical of rain, not sand. The last time there was enough rainfall was possibly around 7000 BCE. The evidence suggests the lion's body is much older than its head. The loop tightens. Did the Egyptians recarve the face of a pre-existing monument? We fly south to Thebes, now Luxor, the capital of the New Kingdom, 1550 to 1070 BCE. Instead of pyramids, we find monumental temples. The Karnak Temple, dedicated to the god Amun, is not one temple, but a city of temples that took nearly 2,000 years to complete. The Great Hypostyle Hall, a stone forest. The heart of Karnak is the Great Hypostyle Hall, the largest covered religious space ever built, mainly erected by Seti I and Ramesses I. It features 134 columns, some 21 meters tall, creating the sensation of a sacred forest. The challenge was lifting these stone giants and illuminating the dark interior. For illumination, they used the clerestory technique. The central columns were taller, allowing for stone lattice windows that filtered sunlight. This was not just functional, it was a religious statement, allowing the light of the sun god Ra to penetrate among sanctuary, demonstrating advanced knowledge of bioclimatic architecture. The sacred lake in Karnak, hand-dug, was essential for purification ceremonies. Keeping this artificial lake filled with fresh water was a hydraulic challenge. The secret was a filtration system for the Nile's groundwater. It also served as an informal nilometer, a tool of both divine and agricultural power. Number 3. The portal to the afterlife. The pharaoh's journey to eternity depended on the macabre science of mummification. How could they master anatomy and preserve bodies for thousands of years without modern medical knowledge? The key lies in a secret ingredient from the desert. The portal to the afterlife, the gate to the underworld. The New Kingdom pharaohs, starting in 1539 BCE, switched from pyramids to the underground tombs in the Valley of the Kings for security. These complexes were intricate networks of passages and chambers designed to foil robbers and protect the body and treasures for the journey to the afterlife. Tutankhamun's nearly intact tomb, discovered in 1922, revealed the opulence of Egyptian funerary art. The young pharaoh's 3,300-year-old mummified body was a recognizable testament to the effectiveness of mummification and what eternal life meant to an Egyptian. The ritual lasted 70 days and was overseen by a priest in an Anubis mask. Crucial steps included purification, the removal of the brain, which was discarded, and the careful extraction of the internal organs through a side incision. The heart remained in place, as it was essential for judgment in the afterlife. The most critical step was dehydration using the secret ingredient, natron, a natural salt. The body was completely covered and filled with this powder, which absorbed moisture to prevent decay. Organs were dehydrated separately and stored in canopic jars. The body was completely dry after 40 days. After dehydration came bandaging, a meticulous art. Hundreds of meters of linen soaked in resins were applied in layers. Between the layers, protective amulets and spells from the Book of the Dead were placed to guide the deceased. The bandaging restored the human form to the body, transforming it into a sacred figure for its rebirth. Number 4. The language map. For 1,400 years, the voices of the pharaohs and builders were sealed in the hieroglyphs, incomprehensible to the world. Egyptian history remained closed until a fragment of black basalt, the Rosetta Stone, was found by accident. What key did it hold to decipher 3,000 years of history? And how did a young French genius unveil the secret of this complex language? This is the episode about the power of the written word. Hieroglyphic writing, sacred carvings, dating back to 3100 BCE, was the official system for monuments. Following the rise of Christianity and Roman rule, the knowledge to read it disappeared after 394 CE. The messages of the ancients became silent to the world. In the summer of 1799, during Napoleon's invasion, French soldiers found the Rosetta Stone in the port of Rosetta. The fascinating part was that the text was repeated in 3 scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, late Egyptian cursive, and ancient Greek, a known language. The stone was an essential dictionary. The inscription was a priestly decree from 196 BCE celebrating Pharaoh Ptolemy V. The trilingual format was used for simple bureaucracy to ensure it was understood by everyone. This legal and public document became the key to deciphering an entire world. The stone arrived in London in 1801, starting a race. Scholars believed hieroglyphs were purely symbolic.
the physicist Thomas Young made a crucial breakthrough by suggesting that the hieroglyphs inside the cartouches, royal names, functioned phonetically, as sounds, not just as images. The true hero was the Frenchman Jean-François Champollion. Obsessed with Coptic, the last descendant of ancient Egyptian, he used this knowledge as his secret tool. In 1822, by comparing cartouches, he discovered the system was mixed, combining phonetic, ideographic, and determinative signs.
Number 5. The Gift of the Nile. We've seen the secrets of the pharaohs, but the empire was sustained by its people and the Nile. How did this civilization transform a desert into the granary of the Mediterranean, keeping its population fed for 3,000 years? The key lies in a simple, effective agricultural technique based on the predictable pulse of the annual flood. The annual inundation, Akhet. The Nile was the god Hapi. Every summer, Ethiopian rains caused a predictable and beneficial flood that deposited a layer of fertile, nutrient-rich black silt, Kemet. This contrasted with the desert, Desheret, and was the source of Egyptian agricultural wealth. Egyptian genius was in controlling the flood through basin irrigation. They built earthen dikes to divide the plain into rectangular basins. They filled the basins with water and silt for 6 weeks and then drained the excess. This system guaranteed nutrients, allowing for 2 or 3 harvests a year, mainly of barley and wheat. Bread and beer were the dietary staples for all classes. The thick, nutritious beer was made from fermented barley bread. Workers were paid with daily rations of these foods, providing a calorie-rich diet essential for the labor force that built the pyramids. The mystery of construction is explained by organization rather than slavery. The Giza workers were specialized and well-fed, with diets rich in meat. They worked in the dry season, turning construction into a national project that secured food and status. The need for preservation, mummification, drove medical advances. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, c. 1600 BCE, is the oldest known surgical treatise, detailing diagnoses and treatments. Medicine and mummification shared the same anatomical knowledge. The final curiosity, sacred pets. Egyptians had a deep connection to nature. Animals were manifestations of the gods. Cats were especially revered, protected by law and mummified. This respect for animal life, from livestock to pets, exemplifies the balance of their civilization.